law breaking, specifically micro looting, is on the rise in the US.
What is micro looting?
So micro looting, if you don't know, basically it was all broken down on a recent episode of a New York Times podcast. A writer admitted that she has been shoplifting from Whole Foods. Not like in a desperate survival kind of way, but like in it's a giant corporation, who cares kind of way. So on its face, it's a pretty small story, right? Petty theft, pocket change,
Sure.
literally like lemons. But then The Atlantic wrote an article that zooms out and says, hold on, this isn't really about just petty theft. It's actually about something deeper and weirder happening now, that people are talking about morality. Right?
Yeah.
So the term that came up in the conversation is micro looting, which sounds almost cute, you know? It's like a little
like a fun term.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle brand, like something you'd see on a tote bag.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point, right? The argument goes like, if corporations are huge, rich, and already stealing from workers or consumers, then taking a little back isn't just harmless. It might even be or feel justified, or at least not worth worrying about. Because once you start reframing theft as trivial or even morally acceptable, depending on the target, you're not just criticizing capitalism anymore. You're redrawing boundaries of what counts as wrong. So that's kind of like the problem here.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, petty theft seems like, not a big deal. Like maybe I rang up my organic cucumber as non-organic and I feel like I won, and like the corporation I get to stick it to the man.
Yeah.
But like if people start doing this in mass, then it becomes a really big problem. And there is obviously trickle down. Like and we've seen this in the past few years, when looting and stealing has become a little bit more prevalent. Now things are locked up. Now you end up paying actually way more for goods if multiple people are stealing, because it costs more to put those things on the shelves. So I do think it's really interesting. I think, you know, the idea of micro looting seems like a funny thing, but I think if it becomes a trend, it's a problem. Also, I do feel like, I think I have a theory on this as well.
Oh my God, what's your theory?
Can I give you my theory?
I want to hear it.
I think it's because so much corruption is so blatantly obvious and in the public eye now. You know, we see corruption happening every day. We see the government getting involved in Wall Street bets, and we see, you know, insider trading happening every day. And so I feel like when someone goes to Whole Foods and rings up their organic celery as non-organic celery, it feels like a little win for them, because it's like, oh, look, these people are literally robbing us blind every day. I'm paying mass amounts of tax dollars while the rich are paying nothing in taxes.
Literally.
So I do feel like that might have something to do with it. But
yeah.
What do you think?
You know, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say that. I kind of see where people are coming from, honestly. And obviously, I'm not saying to steal from Whole Foods. Don't steal from anywhere, probably. But like,
No.
The reality is I can understand, because everything has gotten slightly shittier, I think, as time goes on. Like, your clothes are cheaper, the food has more hormones in it, and everything is plastic, whatever. Like, everything has gotten slightly worse.
Yeah.
And it's kind of because the people at the top have figured out that you can make it slightly worse and we'll still pay for it, because we don't have an option. And so when you go to the store and you are frustrated by the situation and you take a single lemon, or like maybe you walk out and you forget to scan the Waterloo in the bottom of your cart.
Yeah.
You're like, well, it was an accident, but I don't really want to go back.
Yeah.
And I guess I get it.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely, you can never justify things like that. Also, like, I feel like things like that become like, I don't know, if you do it once, you do it again, and then
it is a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
But it's like, I think the world is feeling a sort of crisis of morality right now, because we thought that we were all working towards the greater good. And I think it's become increasingly evident to many of us that is maybe not everyone's goal. And so it's this sort of nihilism that's ubiquitous right now. I think a lot of us are feeling it. We're feeling unsettled. It's economic uncertainty. It's the post-optimism energy of America. And I think that, I don't know, I could rant about this forever, but I just think that that's kind of where that's coming from.
Yeah, very interesting.